is going on? Welcome to episode 145 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Player 2, Mel, how's it going?
Awesome.
Player 3, Destina, what's up?
Yo, yo, yo. Oh, wait. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. Why not?
Is that Crawler's thing? I'll just go with yo, yo.
Just
the lesser version.
Two yos, okay. And Eric, what's up, man?
What's going on? What up, NPC fam? It is your boy, Hate Zero, your hero.
All right, guys. Well, that music you just heard was from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. Remember, this is an unofficial Nintendo podcast. And if you would like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick out something awesome like Console Wars, Ready Player One. There's so much good stuff, so check it out. Ready Player One's so good. I mean, narrated by Will Wheaton. Do we need anything else? You know,
Armada's really good too. Pick up Armada.
Yeah, Armada's also good. The chair.
Be a movie.
That's true. The chair I'm sitting in from Opseat. You go to n64josh.com/Opseat. You automatically save $10 at checkout. I love this chair. I sit in this chair. I have sat in this chair today for almost 7 hours now. No, almost 10 hours now. So it's a good chair. I like it. Make sure to stand up periodically though, so you don't throw a blood clot, because those are dangerous. So keep that in mind. Lastly, I have a Patreon. If you want to get yourself an extra podcast for just $1, you can go to patreon.com/N64Josh. With that, let's get to our announcements.
Hey, listen.
We do this show live on twitch.tv/N64Josh. 6:30 is going to be our new time because it's just easier. Okay, nobody has to rush to get here. So we're going to shoot for 6:30 Pacific Standard Time in case there's traffic. Right, Eric?
Though there was traffic.
Yeah.
2 hours today to get home.
So we're going to 6:30. Okay? 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern. And I want to say what's up to everybody. Crane, what's going on? Cayman, Nintendo Freak, Delmonic, Jay Harley, Pudding, Benji, Pit Rate. Anybody that I've missed, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. My new streaming schedule is at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday. And then Fridays, we still get up early, 6, 7 a.m. and do first looks. So, come hang out for a stream. It's a good time. We've been playing some Smash, some Diablo. It's been fun. It's been fun. So with that, we're going to get to kind of what we've been playing, our reviews and impressions. All right. I had a busy week with indies, but I'm going to let Mel kick us off here because she's always bringing we've been getting some good feedback too. People like hearing about these indie games, taking a little deeper dive into them. So I know she broke another game this week. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what you did?
Remind me to post that later too, actually. I
Okay.
have to post it. But okay, this week there was a couple of choices, but I went with Forgotten Anne. Forgotten Anne is about this world where lost things get transported. So like, let's say you lose your wallet and you can't find it. You didn't really lose it. It just got transported into the world. And once it gets to this world, it basically becomes like a living thing. So, it can talk, it can think, all that fun stuff. And once it gets dropped, it gets pretty much assorted a certain job or location. So, like, for instance, the very beginning of the game, it shows you just one sock gets lost. So the sock, falls into this place. And, like, the mannequin lady, the designated job filler. She's like, oh, only one sock? I don't know about this. And she's like, well, since it's only one sock and you're kind of worn out, we're just going to send you to the factory. You're not going to get like a fancy job. You're not going to be like an inspector. No, you're just going to be like the lowest of the low. So you got to work in this factory. And basically, these little items, missing things, they have to work really hard and do a really good job. Because if they get a really good job and, they're nice and they don't cause trouble, the master, which is Master Boku, he gives out these tickets. And it's like, hey, if you get this ticket, you get to go to like the promised land. And the promised land is basically being teased as this thing where you go back to the real world and you go back to your original owner. So they're like, oh yeah, I want to get out of this crap because I don't want to work in this factory, so let's do that. So you play as Anne. Anne is like second in command to Master Boku, basically. And she's known as the Enforcer. So she's like hard as nails. She's like, the law is the law. So if she finds something wrong, she can pretty much gonna get to the promised land. You're not gonna get a ticket. You're not gonna get anything. So with Anne, as you play as Anne, she has a glove, and this glove has this little energy soaker up thingy, and basically, she can kill these items if she wants to. So like, someone breaks into her house. It's like this little red scarf, and he's like, "Oh, I'm the rebel. We're gonna take y'all down." And she's like, "You can either kill him or not," because that's another part of the game. It gives you choices at certain parts of the game. And well, I didn't know this, like, so I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna kill him." He broke into my house. I don't know what he's gonna do, so I suck up his life, and he just falls to the ground. And as soon as I did that, like, the screen on like the right hand corner just pops up, and it's like, "Hey, you could have solved that way differently." So I was like, I don't think I solved that correctly. So there's some platforming, and she has like these mechanical rings, which gives her like an extra jump. And there's like these little puzzles you have to do, you know, a bunch of levers, you know, buttons you have to rearrange and that kind of stuff. But the meat of this game is just going through this place and trying to go through the story. Because basically, she's been living in this place her whole life, and she's been seeing only this one side of things. So she's interacting with all these, you know, items. They're not really like items. They're pretty much people. It's like very like Beauty and the Beast like. You know, like how you had like the chandelier, you have like the feather dust lady, you know, she's like the maid. It's like this and too. Like the police guy, you know, he's a gun. His like secondhand command's a camera. He takes pictures of the crime scenes and stuff like that. You know, it's really clever and stuff like that. Oh, and actually, when you talk to all these people, it's actually all voice acted. It's actually surprised at that, because usually it's like, you know, yeah, I gotta read, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying Josh could play this game?
Oh, yeah, this is totally a Josh game.
So
totally a Josh game, which is hilarious, because I walked in on, like, one of your first looks, and, like, Super Nintendo, I think, he was like, "Hey, Josh, you should check out this game." He actually went to the eShop. He was about to download. He's like, "I'm not serious, Josh. It's not a Josh game." So basically, there's two sides of this coin, this thing, and pretty much Anne just assumes everybody wants to go to this promised land. But some of these things are like, no, I don't want to go back there, because like I'm like a punching bag. I don't want to go back to the actual. I'm gonna get punched. Here, I can be whatever I want. You know, I can be like a bartender. I can be like, I don't know, a cartoonist. I can run like the movie thing. I don't want to be back punching guy. And she doesn't understand this. And I'm not finished. I'm really close, I think. And some of these choices, okay, they're wishy-washy. They're not really choices. Like, there was this scene on a train. It's like, "Hey, let me check your ticket." That was like one option. The other was like, "Hey, give me your ticket." I'm like, you're still gonna get the ticket either way. But then there was this other part where it's like, there's these two guys accusing each other. Like, "Hey, he's actually a spy." Like, "No, that guy's a spy." So I was like, okay, this is actual different outcome, because I chose the actual spy. Amazingly, I know. Thank you.
Huh.
But later on in the game, the other guy I let off the hook, you know, the one that wasn't a spy, he caused me a problem, and I had to do something else. So I was like, if I just killed that guy instead, this part probably would have been easier.
Interesting.
That's pretty much the gist of it.
Say the name again.
This is Forgotten Anne.
Okay.
This isn't really gameplay heavy, and I played most of it probably today. So that's your amount of hours. I played it all, you know, on and off today. So I'm probably like around like 4 or 5 hours into this thing. It was not super long, not super gameplay-y. But I think, I'm not positive, but I think there's different endings. Because I think some of these choices actually matter. But again, some of these other choices don't, man. They're like garbage, you know? I just hate stuff.
Is this Square Enix made this, right? Or
They kind of
put it out or
yeah, they put
distributed
it out.
or
Yeah,
published it?
it was earlier this year. I think like in March or May.
Yeah.
It kind of flew under the radar a little bit.
I've heard good. It's one of those that seems like it gets critical acclaim, but yeah, it's not like super well known.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about it. I came close many times to picking it up in the past. But I guess it never. It just didn't pull me in immediately. But it's good to know that. Like I said, hopefully it is have multiple endings because I do like those as well. I feel it adds replay value, especially if you do end up like really liking the game. Then you want to go back and kind of go the different routes.
Yeah, for sure. Mel, was there any other games you played this week?
that was my main one.
Okay, all right. Destin, how about you? Did you do anything other than Diablo 3 this week?
I am continuing on my journey through my descent through hell.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm level 70 now. I think I'm 156 Paragon. I did go through the whole story, so I did roll credits on it. It's really, I think it's good, and it's the way that they do the storytelling in the game. It's very, it's all voice acted. Again, kind of like I appreciate that. I guess I'm like, hey, it's 2018. Why am I reading anything in a video game?
Mm-hmm.
I know some people like it or don't mind it. And I do know it's a huge extra cost for the companies, but I think it really pays off. So yeah, I've got through that. I did jump back on to the PC version real quick because I was like, I'll jump back on. I want to just compare it because I do think that the port is extremely well done. However, after jumping into the PC version for like a second, I'm like, oh man, they super missed the mark with this one. Now, I don't know who's to blame for this because I wouldn't blame Nintendo. I wouldn't blame Blizzard. Here's the thing. So on my PC setup, I have a Corsair RGB keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can set it to any color you want, white, red, green, doesn't matter. When you fire up Diablo, it has a profile that automatically turns all the keys blood red.
Oh, nice.
And then your attacks, your 4 attacks, are bound to the 1, 2, 3, 4 keys, and then your potion is the Q key. So, as I'm playing this game, if I start a brand new character, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all blacked out. There's no lights, and as you acquire these levels, the keys light up white. So it's very, very tied to the game. And when you gain a level, instead of the screen flashing that, oh, you've leveled up, and it throws up I think it's like a white and blue kind of logo.
Yeah.
The keys literally, like, there's a white bar that the keys flash scroll upwards. It's like, oh, boom, you leveled up. And then when you kill a monster and it drops like an orange item or a green item, my keys literally like explode with this orange or green like coloring. Huh. So what
if you didn't have a color spectrum keyboard?
It doesn't do anything. It's just that.
Will it do it on the screen in place of that then, or you just don't get to know when you level up if you don't have a proper
Well, it's
keyboard?
Still normal, like when you normally level up, how you get like that little, it says like, you've leveled up, and it's, I think it is white and blue. And
yeah,
it's
I saw it 30 times in about 4 seconds, so.
Yeah, oh, that's right. But so, I got to thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, what if Corsair created Joy-Cons that were clear, that had RGB lighting inside of them, and when you fired up Diablo, the red lights inside came on, and they're just glowing red. And then when you leveled up, like that explosion of lights just like popped up in the Joy-Con, and if an orange item dropped, like the Joy-Cons just like flashed orange. And the other thing is like when you press a button and that ability's on recharge, that key does like turn off. So it's kind of very interactive in a sense, and it's like some of it's pointless because your fingers are on the keys anyways, and you're never going to see it. But it's just the fact that it's there. So it's like, yeah, some Benji's saying rip battery life, which I play mainly docked, but I would think it was cool. I would want my Switch now right next to my TV, so that when I press that button, like I could see it like up next to my TV, like all the different colors changing, and when I level up, like the Switch just like explodes with color. Like I said, it's not Nintendo to blame, it's not Blizzard to blame, and it's such a minor little thing. And when I bought this keyboard, which someone's asking in chat, it's a Corsair RGB Strafe. It's the only product I have. I'm assuming if I had the mouse, there's even an RGB mouse pad. Mm-hmm. I'm not on that level yet, but I'm assuming they all would interact so that like my entire room would just come alive with color and emotion. Yeah, they need to get on that. Because can you imagine if there were games that interacted with the Joy-Cons and they all lit up different colors? Like, I don't know. That would have, I think, I would buy that game.
Well, Mario Party, when it's your turn, the Joy-Con whistles at you.
Yeah, so there is some form of interactivity, which I think is very cool. And it's like, hey, I have a detachable controller. Great. What else does it do? You know? So I don't know. I think that could be maybe the next level if they just, I don't know, add lights and sounds. Maybe smells. Why not?
No. That's going to be like $120 controller bundle. Just for the controllers.
Yeah. The price just went up.
But I was just thinking, if they added that feature, and like I said, it's not even a main feature of Diablo 3 for the PC. It's just something that Corsair, I guess, probably decided they wanted to add because it is a popular game.
Chat wants to know who wants to smell hell.
Maybe
it
that's
smells like roses.
Guy.
Hey, you remember the unicorn level? I want to smell that unicorn level.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it's for the guy who's thinking he's going to go there. So he's like, I want to get prepared for this. Let me smell it in advance. You know, let me get ready.
Like, not so bad.
It's just so
yeah, we'll do that thing I was going to do on the weekend.
Eric.
Yeah.
Hey, you doing okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Doing
I'm
okay?
good.
All right. What have you been playing this week?
Well, I did play a little bit of Xbox. I'm not going to lie to everyone and say I didn't. I did.
Get out.
Played Diablo 3. Diablo 3. And I watched again for the first time in a very long time, The Wizard.
Ooh.
And let me tell you. So I'm a sucker for cheesy 80s, 90s propaganda films, right? So, they had Christian Slater, they had Fred Savage.
All the greats.
Like, what else do you need? Like, that movie, it was Nintendo based. Like, it was corny, but it wasn't like, it was better than the Mario Brothers movie.
Right.
I think. I mean, it really wasn't that bad. I think people just assume it's terrible and without ever giving it a real chance. There's a story there. Like, that was a good movie. So, so that's it. I played Diablo 3 a little bit. I think I hit level 60. I'm trying to work my way through the story, but I'm trying to do it slowly because this is the one game on the Switch I'm going to play until Smash comes out, so I want to take my time with it and not get burnt out on it before Smash comes out.
Right on. It was a busy week for me as far as gaming. I actually played quite a bit. We had to my son actually competed in a Fortnite tournament at the Microsoft store for a mixer matchup. That's what it called. It was and they took first place the first day in that store, and then the second day was all pro teams, and they didn't do as well, but still a pretty cool experience. I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to spend a little more time with some of these indie titles that I picked up. And so on the drive down, I played Astebreed. Now, this is like a shmup that changes the view, so you're not always it's not always top down. Sometimes it's side scrolling, sometimes it's like 3/4 view, sometimes It's like third person almost. I really enjoyed this game as far as the controls, the graphics. Like it was extremely fun. Where I felt this, and I think, I don't know for a fact because I got stuck on a boss, but I think I'm actually on the final boss and there's only 6 stages. So I tried to look it up to see if that was the case. I couldn't find if that was the answer or not, but I did hear a number of people say it's short. Here's the problem I have with this game. You don't really power up your guns. Like if you're going to play a shmup, you should be getting power-ups along the way and now, mind you, you're firing guns with okay, this game has easy mode. If you hold down both triggers, both the right and left trigger, and then just rotate your right stick, or the right bumper, right trigger, and then rotate your right stick, you will literally shoot your gun, swing your sword, and shoot your homing missiles all at the same time. And so playing that handheld was quite uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. It was like my hands are cramping.
How did this run in handheld?
Perfect. Like I can't believe how well this game runs. I kept taking screenshots actually, or like videos, because I'm like, this is crazy. There's so much going on, and so runs super smooth. Where the problem is everything looks so awesome and so epic, but you kind of get to the point where you're like, this is almost a little bit boring because you're not hitting any power-ups. You can't shoot behind you. Like you can't turn around.
I was watching and I'm like, what, can you spin around? Like, what is this like?
So
like a Nintendo game?
The tutorial says click in your right stick and it causes basically it allows you an area that will lock onto your homing missile so you can shoot whatever's around you. Well, I found out without clicking the stick in, if you rotate it, it turns more into like a, I don't know how to explain it. You can just sweep all the way around with it instead of just making the circle. Mm-hmm. And so you're constantly firing homing missiles. So you don't have to turn around. But there were times that I'm like, this boss is behind me. Why can't I turn around and shoot at it? You know, there's an extra, like, even if they had tied it to one of the triggers or something, like there's extra buttons here. So there's just some weird designs with it. Overall, really fun to pick up and play, but just, I felt like if it had just had a few more things, like let me upgrade the weapons a little bit, you know, make my sword a little like stronger, give me even just like 2 upgrades to it, you know, and same with your guns. If they could change now, things get mixed up a little bit the further you get. I won't spoil anything, but so overall I enjoyed it. But for $20, if it is as short as I think it is, I'm not sure. It may be worth waiting for it to go on sale. But do check out my first look. Like we did have fun playing it. Like it is fun. It was just, it seemed like for what it was trying to do as a shmup, there were some things it could have just done a little bit better. So we're still talking about Astebreed. Next up is Full Metal Furies, and played this with Super Nintendo. And what a fun little indie game this is. Like we played it with 2 players. If you had 4 players doing this game, I think it would be an absolute riot. Like Pudding told me all along, he's like, play this multiplayer like for your first look. It's not going to be as fun if you don't. So I got Super Nintendo to join me, and we jumped in on it. It plays kind of like a classic beat 'em up in a way, but you have characters that have different abilities. So you have a tank, you have a sniper, you have like a DPS, and then you have like an engineer or something, right? And so they have different weapons, they have different attacks, that kind of stuff, and you can kind of chain things together a little bit. Check out the first look. Like if you have people to play with, it's like I said, it's online, and you can play in the same room if you want. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Like it kind of gave me Castle Crasher vibes a little bit. Not quite as fun as Castle Crashers, but similar. Right? Similar. I shouldn't say not as fun, different, but it had that vibe. So, definitely worth checking out. Also jumped into Rogue Legacy, which is a roguelite, right? What game on the Switch isn't anymore? And I liked this one because it was a little different than the other ones. Like every time you died, you did unlock more or different characters, and those characters had different abilities or attributes. That like one of them was colorblind, so the entire game was black and white. I was like,
cool.
I was like, why is the game black and white? Like, what happened? Did my connection? And somebody's like,
this game on Vita?
Rogue. I'm not sure. I know it's been around. So
I played that, and it was the first roguelike I had ever played, and it was amazing. I wish every roguelike was based off of this game. Like it was one of the best games I've played in the last 10 years, surprisingly. Like it was super fun.
Yeah, it's great. So that's another one I would say definitely go check out if you are just looking for something to fill time this holiday between Pokemon and Smash and Diablo and everything else that's been just, the onslaught of games coming at us. And then lastly, I jumped into Brawlhalla. It is a free platform fighter, kind of similar to Smash, not as fast, not as polished, not as much fun, but it's free. And it has stuff you can unlock. It has it's kind of like Paladins, like you can buy the hero pack if you want, or you can just slowly unlock stuff and sign in every day. And it's different than Smash. I mean, you could, if you were trying to practice with that game for the new Smash, you could work on your neutral game, but that would pretty much be it. There's not a lot of not too many similarities. So
wow, you're really selling me this game, Josh.
Right. Well, I will say this. I've heard other people that play Smash really like this game. So there could be some more depth to it that we just didn't get into. But overall, as much Smash as I've been playing lately, I'm like, I just want Smash. But hey, it's free. So if you want something to mess around with, there you go. There's Brawlhalla. So with that, let's get to the news. So, you guys aren't going to believe this. The Switch eShop now has filters for genre, price range, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, what? What? I can't believe this. Did anybody get a chance to go and check it out?
Oh, yeah, I looked at it.
Yeah. Okay, Mel, what did you think?
I saw a picture of it, but I haven't used it.
Okay, so most of these genres, they're pretty done, on the nose, they're like where they should be belonged. Mm-hmm. But some of these other genres, like daily life or like life situations or something, I saw a couple of games and then I'm like, they're really stretching this definition here. This
Mario
doesn't
Odyssey
really
was in there.
No, it wasn't stuff like that. I don't think Josh wants me to say what games in there.
Oh, those.
Yeah, those.
Visual novels.
Technically, yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Are we talking like Galgun? Yikes. That's a yikes for me.
So, I mean, it's still way better than what we have. And it's right on, the search screen right now. Like, you can't miss it. This is something that should have been there day uno, just saying. But we're slowly getting to a better shop. There's still more improvements we need. Like, we still need our wish list. Like, hey, you get like a notification when something actually goes on sale. Because, they have the sales page, but there's like 100 games on sale each week now. So just scrolling through and finding it. Good luck with doing that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was nice that you could either search for the title of your game, or you can, click the genre, click the price range, and it builds these decent lists that you can see like the first, 8 to 10 games probably. And then after that, you can hit see all, and it will take you into every game in that genre. So as long as the people that are uploading their games tag them correctly, the system will be better. So if you are looking for a specific genre or whatever, you should be able to find it. But like Mel said, there could be a little bit of a stretch, and some games are going to overlap between genres. So it's a step in the right direction anyway. This one I think is going to, this will probably excite Mel, I'm guessing. Maybe. Rumor Okay, grain of salt time. But Platinum is working on 2 games for the Switch besides Bayonetta 3. Okay, there was I got the article from Nintendo Life, and it was basically they're just kind of hinting that there's a little more than just Bayonetta being worked on, and they are saying Bayonetta is set for 2019. And remember, we did hear we got news of Bayonetta 3 at the Game Awards, which are coming up in the next couple weeks here. So,
can I push out my my guess on what?
You can. You sound a little robotic, but go ahead. You sound better.
Gosh,
you sound better now.
Near. I think we're gonna get Near, and yes. Destinat will be very happy. That's my guess. I don't see how they can ignore that title.
Yeah.
And then when it does come out on the Switch, Josh can play a better shmup than he probably played, because I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's.
I mean, is he gonna
like
get
a
to
genre
that
of game? Near Automata has some of it in it. I'm not gonna lie, it's stupid how many genres it covers and does it well, and you're like, oh, I want more of that. When do we get to do that again?
Is it in the first 15 minutes? Because I mean,
it's the shmup. I mean, it's throughout the game, but that's how the game starts.
Yeah, this is.
It starts as a shmup, and you're like, oh, I thought this was a fighter, whatever. Oh no, then it goes into a fighter, and then if it's coming to Switch, I don't want to say anything more.
How much reading is in the game?
Oh my!
They talk.
Mainly talking. There is some reading, but it's not part of the main story.
How much shade is in this podcast? That's what I want.
Shade.
100%.
No,
based on I wear my sunglasses.
Yeah, based on the smile on Brian's face when he says the words "near," like I can't not play this game. So it's hard to talk about, because it's like I said, it ruined me. I stopped playing video games for like 6 months after I played it, because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like everything else I play is like a copy of this game. And it's not that the game reinvents the wheel. It found a way to take different materials that make a wheel and make it better as a whole. That's all I can say about it. I'm done. Otherwise, I'll go another 30 minutes. I love that he loves it this much. I'm not going to lie. The other one is possibly Beautiful. No, Wonderful 101. I almost said Beautiful 101.
I want Beautiful.
Maybe there'll be a mashup.
Yeah, well, I think one's Capcom, though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Capcom has
that might not work.
So who knows? I mean, that game was Wonderful 101. Some people really enjoyed it on the Wii U. The few people that played it,
all 5 of us, yes.
Yeah. So there you go. It's again just a rumor, grain of salt, but hopefully we can keep seeing stuff like this. This was the biggest shock of the week for me, not only because I didn't think I would care at all about this, but I am now 100% all in on this, and that was the preview for Detective Pikachu, or the trailer that dropped and looks amazing. I don't care. Like today on Twitter, somebody tweeted a GIF of Jigglypuff when he glares at the camera. And the tweet
espresso in the background. That one.
The tweet said, "When short girls get angry," and so of course I tagged Kirby in it, right? And so I literally am so on board. Like Pikachu looks amazing to me. I've never cared about Pokemon whatsoever. Even my kids who are like Pokemon, they're like, we're going to go see this, right? I'm like, what? Like they're on board. So, all right. Mel, being our Pokemon connoisseur here, what's the over under on this Detective Pikachu movie?
Okay. So I like everything about this, but how most of the Pokemon actually look. Just
did you hear the sigh?
Realistic? Like too realistic for you? Like should they look more animated?
She wanted Roger Rabbit. She wanted real life.
Yeah, I'd rather that
and
honestly.
Cartoons.
Could have worked.
But I do like how there was a lot of different types of Pokemon in this, not just Generation 1. Yes, there's still a whole bunch of these guys in there. But I was seeing stuff like Good Ninja. I was seeing like, the buffalo, the eagle from like Gen 5. I was seeing all these nice little things. And I was.
Do you mean Taurus?
Background.
Do you mean Taurus?
No. Well, there is a Taurus, but it's like a.
Isn't he the buffalo?
Oh my god, no. Anyway, segue away from Josh. I was noticing all the little details in the background, like Unova pizza slice. I was like, that's amazing because I'm a nerd and I know what that means. Because Unova was Generation 5 and the main city was basically based off of New York. So it's saying New York pizza, but like the Pokemon version of pizza. And then there was like little shops. It was like, the shop from like the actual Detective Pikachu game. I'm like, I noticed that when I watched a bit of that gameplay. And it seems like it's actually following through the game story. Like, I know most people forgot that was an actual game that came out earlier this year because from the DS. And then I also liked how goofy humor it's gonna be, and they're pretty much owning that. Like that scene with Myth's mind, and he's like miming it out, and he basically saying, "Oh no, he's you." And then Pikachu tries to go attack him, but he puts up like a mirror shield, and you can't see it because it's reflective. So he just bumps his head into it. Like I was dying. And then of course when like Pikachu's like hitting on that girl, he's like Pika Pika, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is the cutest thing ever." I was dying laughing. The voice doesn't bother me because there's no voice for Pikachu, so it's whatever. Ryan knows he's going to do fine with it. I mean, he's not Danny DeVito. I think that would have been way more funnier, but can you imagine getting him in there? He's like, "Hey, we make rat talk." He's going to be like, "I don't want to beep, 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 beep." Yeah, that's too much beeps for them. But I'm probably going to watch this. It's probably not going to be like in the theaters. But that's more of a I hate theaters thing than I hate this Pokemon version, what they look like thing. Oh, this is also a nice little detail. The guy who actually designed like the movie designs for this, he did a, just a fan art of realistic Pokemon. Like most people have probably seen his stuff before, but they found him on Google and were like, "Hey, we like your stuff." Like I don't personally like it, but a lot of people liked it. Mm-hmm. Like, "Hey, we noticed this attention. So like, hey, why don't you come and help us make the movie?" So like people who like, create stuff and like artists and stuff, keep it up. You might get noticed like that.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Brian, did you watch this trailer?
Yes, and I've said before, like in our Discord, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I've never actually played a Pokemon game. I don't think Pokken Tournament counts. That's more like a spin-off, I'd say. Never ever have I played a Pokemon game. So the only character I know is like, I'm like the typical, I know who Pikachu is and Squirtle. And I think his name is Charizard. Other than that, I couldn't tell you any other character.
Squirtle was missing. I saw that in the trailer.
Yeah, it was on the poster. Bio.
But since Ryan Reynolds' abs are my spirit animal, I'm gonna go see it. I find his like voiceover work awesome. Like, I mean, Deadpool is pretty much him just doing voiceover the entire movie.
Right.
So
he's gonna reference this in the next Deadpool.
I hope so. It's gonna be glorious. So no, I'll go see it. I really like the fact that in this universe, because I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure if they were gonna, we always get these movies for these franchises that people love, and it's like they're like, for example, Resident Evil. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, and when the first movie came out, I was watching the commentary on the DVD, and the director said, "People have played the games. I don't want to just give them what they played in the games. I want to give them something else." I'm like, that is 100% completely disconnected from what the fans wanted.
Yeah, wasn't that Paul Anderson? I'm pretty sure who that guy's.
Paul W.A. Anderson.
Yeah, he's the worst director in Hollywood.
Anytime he puts his name on something, I'm like, well, I guess I can't see that.
Dude, and he usually puts his name like director, writer, producer. Like the first 4 credits are always, his name.
Husband of Mila Jovovich. Claim that too. It's ridiculous. So when that movie came out, I was like, and then speaking of Mila Jovovich, she said she knew about the series because her little brother played it, and she would watch her little brother play this game, and it was like terrifying and exciting. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to do that." And then you get put in this. I can only imagine, like, she's probably thinking, like, what did I sign up for? Like, what is this?
I don't think she minded too much after 17 movies.
But I that really kills me when they do that to movie franchises, because it's like, no, you don't get it. You don't get it. And this goes for comic books, cartoons that they make into live action. Books that they turn into movies, they're like, oh, we gotta switch it up for the sake of switching it up. No, don't do that. So I'm glad in this universe, I was half expecting like Pikachu to kind of be like either like this mystery to these people, like they're like, oh, what is this? Or the flip side, I hate it also because Pikachu's clearly not anything from like this world.
Yeah. If
they would have put him in like real world Earth, but then people don't bat an eyelash at it, like, oh, sure, why not? Like Alvin and the Chipmunks, it's like, oh, Chipmunks that talk, cool, right on, guys. It's like, you're like, why isn't anybody like calling like the government about this? Like, talking chipmunks walking down the street. So
recording Christmas albums.
Yeah, and from what I know about the cartoons and from what I've seen, and then like in the very beginning of this trailer, the guy's like, oh, you wanted to be a trainer. So I'm like, okay, it looks like, at least from the trailer, it looks like they got things right from my limited knowledge. So looking forward to it, yes.
Eric, what about you, man?
So my favorite episode of The Simpsons
boy.
is when Homer gets it's the Halloween episode where Homer gets transplanted to the real world and he becomes like that 3D Homer.
Oh, no.
So I know Kirby doesn't like that because that's exactly what these Pokemon look like to me.
They're not that bad, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it's 46 years later, so
they're in 4K.
Yeah, I think they look great. I expected Pikachu to have some fluff. People are upset of the amount of fluff he has. I think it's perfect. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds can't do any wrong. We all know that. For me, I will watch this, but I haven't watched Pokemon since Gen 1. I used to watch the show a little bit, like when I was younger. I played Red and Yellow. So I have a limited Pokemon knowledge, but there's still some nostalgia for it, and it looks like it's really good. It went from something I didn't care to see to something now I have to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's the fact that they didn't try to do like what Brian was saying, where it's like, oh, he almost muted it.
It almost happened. I almost said episode's ruined. Start over.
But like he was saying, like they left it like they left the lore how it is, right? Like, oh, you wanted to be a Pokemon trainer, like it that's what's going to sell this thing, right? They're not trying to mix. It's kind of like what Disney has done with the Avengers and that whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, where it was just like, this is like the comic books. This is like the source material. That's why this will do well. And so I think it's going to be very similar with Pokemon.
And another thing I'm really hoping for is I think the addition of Ryan Reynolds gives it more of the Shrek darkness, where it's going to be completely family friendly, but there's going to be some subtle stuff for adults too. Because I think that's just kind of how, I don't think Ryan Reynolds would sign up for anything if he can't throw some sauce in there somewhere. And even just starting out, like when him like trying to explain, he's like, I know you can't hear me or understand me. Like talking slower does anything for someone who can't understand you.
Right.
But well, I thought it was amazing.
Who? This isn't like Disney putting this out. This is.
I saw
I
Warner
saw the
Brothers.
logos. Okay, Warner Brothers. So
Yeah.
I hope we at least get like a gag reel where he's just uncensored, or they could bleep it, I guess, if they want. I would love to see, because they got that like the rig on his face, and when he talks, it's just moving the mouth. So
Right.
he's just gonna be like,
Knowing
F the
him,
F
he
the
probably
F.
he probably
Yeah.
just painted his actual face over it. He didn't have to, but he probably did. Knowing
He's
him,
probably
Just to
in
get
the
into character.
Pikachu suit.
probably got some ews going on.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's see. Moving along, still more Pokemon here. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee are currently at an 81 on Metacritic. And the funniest tweet I saw today was, it's funny to me that people are angry that a game is reviewing well. So like,
That sounds like something from The Onion.
right. Like, because it's not the game I want, I hope it fails. Like, come on. The headlines I've been seeing are like, this is the perfect entry for people into this series, especially the younger generation, for kids. And then it also said that people that are familiar with Gen 1, it's a nice little nostalgia trip, But obviously not the game that everybody's wanting, but like, look, if it gets you possibly double the amount of Pokemon games in a 10-year period, that's a good thing, right? I don't know. I'm looking forward to grabbing this goofy little Pokeball and checking this world out, honestly, and hopefully putting a little more time into it than just the 15 minutes. So we'll see.
Yeah, you're gonna need more than 15 minutes.
Mel's rolling
for that
her
game.
eyes. So
More than a first look.
yeah.
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 So have they explained how the Pokeball works? I mean, I know how it works like in the show, but
You throw it as hard as you can at the TV.
so I mean, yeah, you throw this thing.
No,
I mean,
it's a
is there gonna
Joy-Con.
be like,
It's a Joy-Con. It has a stick on it, like it has an analog stick on it.
so you just kind of do like one of these.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. You just shake your hand and then you do the same if you're holding a Joy-Con, which that's
Right.
why it was kind of a missed opportunity with the Joy-Cons that came out with these systems. Why not make them red and white? Make them look like Pokeballs. But
No, instead we have to have yellow and brown.
because
The
red's
worst
already
yellows
out,
and brown.
and white's just gonna get nasty, dirty, and now you're gonna have a cream and red
that's true. That's true.
Joy-Con. But no,
Well, that's because yellow. and red's-
where's the Amazon like top rated? Like it's gonna be like this like cloth slide that you hang up so you can throw the Pokeball, and it's just gonna hit this thing and roll back to you.
No.
No?
It's got a wrist strap
Okay.
so that children don't chuck
Email
this
me,
thing.
creators.
Why not get
I
one
mean-
of those baseball bounce nets that you can practice throwing
So it bounces
into?
back
So
to
it
you?
bounces back, you catch it.
It hits the window behind
What are
you.
Well,
talking about?
Yeah, you got to catch it. I mean,
You gotta catch them all.
Gotta
Yeah.
catch them all, otherwise
Yeah.
you break windows.
Right.
and your
Right.
controller, game over.
Rip.
So this is interesting. Nintendo wins $12 million settlement against these emulation websites. That's not a small number. Now, I'm sure they're not going to see any of that money. Those companies will just go bankrupt. And
Or they weren't making money to begin with.
Oh,
they
they-
were
they
all
definitely-
free and donation
Oh, yeah.
based.
I mean,
Yeah.
they probably made money off the ads if they had any
Well-
who actually didn't block them, kind of thing.
even that, one of the sites apparently was so packed, just full of games, there wasn't even room for ads on their site. So,
Yeah. You know who's
Anyway.
going to buy all those domains when they can't pay for them?
Nintendo.
Nintendo with the $6 they get from the settlement.
right? yeah.
It's funny you mentioned this. So, there was a very popular one, which is still around now, but only like you can't download the games there anymore. It's almost now like a website that just catalogs the games that are on these systems. Like you can go there, you can still view the page as if you could download it. However, the download button's gone. So, around the time that they went down, which was very recently, there was I'll have to go to my Twitter. So there was a settlement that the Supreme Court put out, and it had to do with the protection of archiving old games.
Interesting.
And they said emulation could kind of fit in. Obviously, at this point, Nintendo won a settlement, so now there's precedence against it. But it had to do with saying like all these old games that are online and the servers go down, and then it's like you can't play these games anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because they were online only, or we get the multiplayer is online only. And what they were talking about was kind of like, and this is all rolled into. There's a big thing right now where it's like large electronics companies have said like, no, you have to send it back to us. Otherwise, we're not going to fix like your phone, and it's not going to be warranted, and we won't approve the repair.
Oh, the Apple stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So recently they put out saying like, no, anyone can repair this product and have it like still be warranted. It can't be exclusive to you. You can't just like make people send it back to you for like common repairs. Well, part of that also with software was that not only are the games themselves allowed to be like archived, and I don't know what capacity that means, but also the servers that they run on are allowed to be archived. So these like servers for like old MMOs like EverQuest and stuff like that. It's almost like it's allowed to be, like I said, archived. Now I don't know if that means things that are like out of print, or I don't know what capacity that means. And I don't know if I know the big thing with emulation. The big defense was always like, well, you have to own the game. So that way it's just a backup copy, a digital backup copy of your physical game. Just like with music, it's like you were always allowed to like record your CD onto cassette, Right. That I don't know if it falls under that area, but it's I can throw a link to that like in the Discord if anyone wants to check that article out. But yeah, I don't know where this fits in with all that.
From everything I've seen, the act of downloading is not the illegal part. It's the person hosting it and sharing it. So
It's
me
like
having a game, me having a copy of a game isn't illegal. But me giving you that copy without the express written consent of the property owner, that's where the legality.
Yeah.
So like we used to do with physical games.
Well, that's different because when I give you that physical gift, I don't have it anymore. So if I make a copy of it and give you a copy, I think that's still illegal.
Right.
Because you still have the original. So now there's like two of that product in the world. Which is why, because I mean, if you think about it too, they're saying they're losing money, but like one can also make the argument for like, well, wait a minute. Let's say I buy a brand new copy of a game in the store, and then I sell it to GameStop or whatever, maybe a local place in your area, and then they sell it to Josh used. Well, did Nintendo make a single cent off that sale? No. But Hate just said there's still one copy of that floating around. It's not like I distributed and made multiple copies and I'm now like, maliciously selling these things,
Yeah.
So maybe that's where it's the gray area. But like, yeah, Nintendo isn't making money off the used market. But
there is cases.
It seems like there's a lot of grays and like there's probably a lot of like loopholes.
There's
it all needs to be revised. We need to come together and fix it. But it when you say Supreme Court, where they don't understand the digital age, so it's going to be a few years before this gets changed.
Right. And the thing is, like, because a lot of people will use that argument, like, well, if let's say it's a Nintendo game, right? And if it's a modern game, because I mean, you can even do this with Wii U stuff, right? Well, people say, well, Nintendo wouldn't make money. Well, what version of the game are you playing, right? Because if it's Smash Bros. And you're playing with all the DLC, well, then Nintendo did lose money, because if you go and buy that game used, you're going to have to pay for that DLC. Right. That's the only way that's going to happen. So, but it is, I mean, we would literally, and everybody wants to take a stand and, it's just a strange time we live in. As we've been sitting here talking about it, like, I wish the game companies would do like the DVD and the Blu-ray companies do. Like, I buy a Blu-ray, I get a digital copy, I get a DVD and I get a Bluray all for $20. right?
Yeah. Now, if you do 4K, you get a 4K copy, a Blu-ray, a DVD, a digital copy. They mail a copy to your mom.
Yeah,
like,
VHS
I get more
still,
copies
right.
of a movie than I could ever use.
Yeah, but I love the convenience of digital, but I like seeing my collection, right?
I just like the lossless of the 4K, disc and not using streaming for 4K. So that's why I'm buying physical copies anymore.
Yeah.
So what about so let's throw games in there into that I guess that mold. Really, it sounds like with the movies, when I buy a movie and I get like every copy known to man to play in anything, I'm almost buying kind of like a permission slip, if you will, to be like, hey, can I watch this movie and have a copy of it for myself? They don't care what you play it on, where you play it, when you play it.
Yeah.
And in this, like I said, this digital / physical age that we're still in, because we haven't gone digital yet completely. Why not they've kind of gone that way, like Xbox, for example. Like, okay, I can play a game on PC and play it on my Xbox. I just got to buy it once. Because really, what's
funny is everything you're saying is what Xbox was trying to do, and everyone wasn't ready for it. I think if they do it again with their next version, it'll be better received.
Suddenly it'll be like, oh my gosh,
they're revolutionary.
Amazing.
Well, the new Xbox is going to win the market over the PS4 or PS5.
Think it'll change hands.
We've talked about the changing of the guard before on older shows, but we don't have to get into that right now. But yeah, you're basically buying a license. It doesn't matter if you have a physical disc or not. None of that matters. You're buying a license to have your name is attached to one copy of that.
Yeah, I guess what it boils down to is like I'm sure there's people that just buy I see it on Twitter all the time. People always send a picture to Wario64 of their digital copy of their Blu-rays, and he just tweets them out,
I don't know why they're doing that, because eventually it's going to be on a platform they want, Like the list of the movies anywhere that it's growing, like Vudu, Amazon, like they're all in there now.
Yep, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and if you link your accounts, you can have it on any device in the world now. Like it, yeah.
Except the Switch.
No, you can, because you can get it through the Google Play Store through YouTube. So you absolutely can get it on the Switch.
There you go. So something's going down at Kirby's house. She's saying she's waiting for two people to stop yelling. So I'm not sure.
I want to hear this.
Yeah,
unmute.
We all want to hear it. So all right. Well, we're at the hour mark, so we're gonna have to cut this short. But next Tuesday, we're gonna get into the Game Awards, and we have some listener questions. So we'll focus a little less on the news, and we will dig into to what those Game Awards and some of these listener questions. So
just talk about it during the outro music.
That also works. So with that, Desinat, where can we find you?
You can find me in the N64 Josh Discord. I don't know if I'm allowed to say my name in here. Whatever.
You probably not.
It's clean. It's relevant. The kids are talking about it anyways.
But it's not going to be your name by the time they search for you, so...
Oh, no. Come December, it'll probably be like, I don't know. Like the Ghost of Destined Past. I don't know. But you can find me there. I know I talked about it a couple shows ago. It's still in the works. I want to start streaming by the end of the year. I'm thinking maybe like a Sunday morning thing for all you heathens that don't go to church. We'll just play Diablo. Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
Eric, where can we find you?
You can find me on Discord. You can find me on Twitter. Soon enough, you'll find me on Twitch. I'm just trying to figure out when the best time, but it's all at HateZero, zero spelled Xero. I too want to start streaming again, get back into it. So yeah, let's do it.
And Mel, where can we find you?
I'm gonna be in the Discord.
Okay, and getting harassed on Twitter by me.
Yeah, apparently with ugly Jigglypuff.
He looks so. Is it a he or a she?
You know,
you don't even know.
I don't know if that one's actually a girl.
Oh, okay.
Because that one's based off the anime. So, I don't know. I know the one in Smash, that's a girl, because she has all the girls.
Okay. I just like that it's holding a microphone and looks angry.
Yeah, that's what it did in the anime. Yeah, it sang, and then when everybody fell asleep, it drew in the face. So you're gonna see him, whatever, drawn on people's faces in that movie. It's gonna be fun.
Interesting. All right, guys, well, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Farmers Only. All it's N64Josh. So you can follow me in all those places. I'm doing a giveaway right now on Twitter, a copy of Smash Bros. And a 1-year card of Nintendo Switch Online. So if you go to the pinned tweet on my Twitter, you can see that. Or if you're in my Twitch chat, you can type !giveaway and you can see the details there. So that's that. You can follow the show at NPowercast. The show notes are available at n64josh.com/NPC145. You can email the show npc@n64josh.com. Remember to get yourself a free book from Audible by going to audibletrial.com/NPC. Opseat, go to n64josh.com/Opseat and save $10 at checkout. My Patreon is patreon.com/n64josh. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye now.